The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
I am good. Keeping busy baking cookies. Yeah.
Oh, it's been pretty good. I've been enjoying some time off work and chilling, and I don't know, been working on some little electronics projects. I just repaired an amplifier that's sitting behind me. I just got that thing fixed. And I don't know, just little projects around the house and hanging out. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, my place, yeah, especially.
Oh, same old, just working and I'm doing pretty good. I got over COVID and I'm feeling a lot better. Thank God to be alive. It's just getting ready for a little bit of Christmas with my sons and family. So it's been pretty good though, can't complain. Yes.
Yep.
I know. Definitely. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's parts of this year for me anyway. I mean, with both parents gone and everybody's kind of moved away. So, I mean, Christmas is special and I'm happy for families that can get together and enjoy each other because I mean, you just don't know year to year, you know? So yeah, it is.
Yep, that's good plan.
Hmm.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just got a message from Denise saying that she can hear all of us except for you. Yes. Just thought I would share.
I'm
Usually
hearing you
it's
just fine.
me. Usually it's me that's broken, so I just thought I would
Well, we're hearing you, so the microphone's got to be fine. It's got to be a
Yeah.
setting, a stream setting somehow.
Yeah,
Like
'cause I
include your audio on the stream.
You can blame me if you need to, Nico. That's totally cool also.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go. I guess I can.
Yeah, go for it, Michael.
Okay. Um, I was. There was a time. This is also talking about being touched, by the spirit, or being, you know. I was at Whispers Estate, and this was God many years ago, and I happened to be in that living room, sitting on the couch there, and all of a sudden, excuse me, all of a sudden I felt this tug on my pants leg. Now nobody was around me. I mean, there was a guy that was next to me, but he was on. But the tug I felt was on the opposite side of where he was at, and so I had this tug on my leg. Then I felt this coolness, this kind of breeze like rush past me. Well, it also touched him as well, right after me, and like it's like you said, it's hard to prove, but you know when two people felt that same type of touch, that coolness, that cool air, or that's what it felt like to me anyway. And God, excuse me, I'm sorry, clear my throat here. And also I had I think I had a voice recording going at the same time, and as I was going over that, like later on, after that happened, how you go over your things later on after the investigation and everything, you know, something said hi on the voice recorder at the same time that, I got touched, because I was trying to figure out what time that was when that happened, and God, I'm so sorry. I'm still getting my throat cleared up. But what I'm saying is, like, as far as I'm concerned and all that, I know that spirits are real, ghosts are real. Um, the person that was standing next to me, he also got touched too, which, was a, God, I don't know how you would call it. It's just proof to me that, they are, I mean, it's real. I mean, it happened to me. I mean, it's hard to, tell skeptics something like that and everything. I mean, there's times, where I believe, I would use the SLS camera. You know how you would use the SLS camera to see if you
Sure.
Yeah.
can catch images, all that stuff. Well, it's hard to prove on something like that spirits are real for some people, because, I'm thinking proving something. This one, for instance, I was talking to this one guy, and he's a real big skeptic, and I was trying to prove to him, hey, spirits are real, things do happen. I've had things happen to me. He's never experienced anything. And he has a right to his opinion, of course, and stuff. And I thought, okay, I'm going to show him proof with this SLS. And I thought, wait a minute, I can't do that. I mean, he'll just say, well, you know, that's a stick figure. That's something that, just made up, instead of, you trying to tell him what it's about, you know, yeah. So I tried to, like prove that through that. And I thought I can't prove it through that either. So it's yeah, it's tough, you know. But you trying to help, you try to prove something to a skeptic or a person that
Right.
don't believe. It's
So for
tough,
me, Shane's the one that's the odd man out on like touch and things from this
Yep.
group, right?
I haven't
So
had anything like that.
for me, like I've had experiences. I have seen things, I have been touched by things, I have had physical scratches and marks and things like that. So for my own personal self, I know what I've experienced, but it's very hard to say, "Hey, I've had all these things happen to me," and think that anybody's going to think that you're credible.
right?
Like I expect Shane to literally be like, "Cat's psychotic because like what the heck." But for me, being able to prove to Shane that it's real enough that he's still in the field, like he's the kind of guy that's going to prove to those skeptics like there's something here because
Yeah,
XYZ. That that's the only way that you're going to get a skeptic to potentially cross into the line of like, okay, so now it's real, is you have to have something that's like absolutely no questions asked, like, this is something. And I don't think we're anywhere close to that yet.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think sometimes I get kind of close to that. Just because, especially like when I'm doing an automated investigation, there's no humans present to, do trickery or problems or, noise or whatever, and you run through, let's say, a PowerPoint presentation, and you're asking in that presentation for entities to, touch a certain sensor, change the temperature in the room, change the electromagnetic field. And there's been many incidences where literally during the exact time that you give the entities to touch or do something with the equipment, that you get statistically significant hits, only in the parts where you ask them to do it and not throughout the rest of it,
Right.
And when they do that 3 or 4 times in one investigation on different sensors and different things, it's pretty hard to say, well, there's nothing going on and ghosts don't exist. And because something obviously is doing it, because if you don't ask them to do anything, that board could sit in that same location for days on end and not record anything. So, and both with visual cues such as, handwritten or on-screen prompts, to audible things like just literally asking an entity, hey, can you change the, EMF field in this room? I'll give you 30 seconds kind of thing. But the fact that they do it, every once in a while, they'll do it religiously, actually. I mean, they will literally follow the directions and do that. At other locations and other places and other times, you'll spend the whole night and get nothing but null.
I think I did it, guys. I think I fixed the mic. Hopefully I'm being heard now. And I sound right.
Well, you're always heard by us. I don't know if you're heard out in the world, but
yeah, that was so weird. I think it just changed the setting inside the Skype playback thing, so we're good. I was listening to you guys. I think I got it, but I don't know if I'm being heard. I'm waiting.
Because I'm still talking to Denise, so
I'm waiting to see. Yeah, because they're like 10 seconds or so behind us. So we'll see.
Little scratchy, she says, but yes, she can hear you.
Hey.
Okay, it's good.
It's good.
All
it works. Awesome. Okay, so where were you guys at? Well, I know you were talking about sensor boards.
So basically, I was talking about, the strength of the evidence that I've so far gotten.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's very hit or miss, which also leads me to the second thing is a lot of locations that might be reported as being haunted, probably or might not be. And then other ones that you wouldn't think there would be anything, there is stuff.
Yes.
But I'm thinking that a lot of times the automated, completely computer generated sessions might have a little more weight, especially in the scientific community, because without people present, I mean, I'm talking literally not even in the same building, it's a lot more difficult for sounds and things and stuff to happen than it is if there's people walking around upstairs or in the basement or wandering around in the rooms. It's hard for a human to stay totally silent and totally motionless for hours on end, but a computer don't care.
Yeah, and there's always something, right? There's like stomach growling, sneezing, loud boots or clothes. Like there's always something.
Yeah.
So I'm curious,
Go ahead,
James,
Kat.
have you ever seen a photo or video that made you go, oh, wow, that's crazy, that's real?
I've seen some videos from like security cameras that were fairly convincing. But actual photos, especially since I'm a fairly decent, amateur photographer, and
Right.
I'm, my specialties are low light photography and things like that. Most photos are immediately like, yeah, that's bunk.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, things that trick people, like little bits of lens flare or reflections off of surfaces that aren't even necessarily reflective but leaves things, and of course dust particles and the whole orbs thing.
You
I
said
don't
a bad
know.
word.
Yeah,
That bad word.
I said the O word. And so I don't know. And also, I don't even know how many tens of thousands of photos I've taken at all these locations. And, all of these have no flash in them. They're ambient light. They are very clear. I mean, razor sharp clear.
Yeah.
And I just don't ever see anything in them. I mean,
I've yet to take a photo too. I'm yet to have a photo that has anything in it.
I go through them one at a time, and I stare at the screen on a big high-resolution monitor, and the photos are, like 24 megapixels, so they're super high resolution. They're super deep color, super rich. There's no flash for having lights, so I never see dust particles. I never see any of that stuff. So I don't know. I've never had a photo
with you. Let me share a photo with you later. It's not one of mine, but I want to see what your opinion is later. So
I'll absolutely look at it. No problem.
Cool.
It's interesting. So you guys don't use any kind of flash at all when you do photos?
No.
I won't know. No way.
No.
Okay.
I usually use a camera, a good quality mirrorless SLR on a tripod, and I will just let it. I mean, a lot of times the photos, when you're actually taking them, you can barely see in the room good enough to tell what you're taking a photo of. But then when the camera does a 20-30 second exposure on that, it looks just like the whole room's in daylight because of the long exposure. And of course you don't have flash, because flash is where so many artifacts, lens flare, little orbs, dust everything shows up with the flash.
Yeah. I see that, and that's the thing, I guess, for me, because some of the orbs that I've caught, with the flash and everything, I have faces in them, or they're different colors, and they I mean, I know what dust looks like. I know what other things. I can tell the difference, for me personally. And some of the orbs that I've caught, were different colors. They had things come out of them. I've seen eyes and mouth in them and stuff. So I mean, I guess for me, I know again, to me, that I just believe in them myself, because what I've seen in them and all that. I can tell the difference between an orb and dust. I mean, that's so different from each other and stuff. And that's I mean, but again, I am skeptical as far as, you get a bunch of dust. I mean, I know what it looks like. I know that and everything. But when I can catch something that I can see with my eyes, and what I've seen inside of them, the different colors and shapes, and like I said, I've seen faces in them before and stuff. And I know that was something there for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not disagreeing with what y'all do and all that. That's fine and everything. I just know what I see and what I know are orbs.
Well,
and stuff.
There's a difference between, I see some of these pictures that are, one person will see something, right? They see a full face or a person, and then when 10 other people look at it, there's nothing there. They don't see anything at all. So I would always submit whatever you find. Don't suggest to what it is. Just say, hey, what do you guys see? It's a way to...
That's the best way to do it. Just say, here's a photo. You guys, in the comments, let me know everything that you guys see.
That's a great idea.
It's a way to get like a blind peer review, and see if everybody
and
also
I've done that
sees...
with EVP audio before, too.
Yes.
Yeah,
because one person will hear boat and the other person will hear nothing, or you know what I mean? They don't hear anything related to what you heard.
Stuff. Like,
But then sometimes, you do get the ones, like I've gotten pictures where other people see it without me telling them anything, and then 4 or 5 other people see it too, and that just makes it more solid to me.
That makes it, yes, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's stronger evidence then.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And
No, 'cause
same, yeah.
I did that one. I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I sent that one from Velisca when I was sitting outside. Some people said it says "help me," and some people say it says, I think, "go away" or "get out" or something. It was totally two different things, and I kept wondering because it was outside. I couldn't get any kind of stuff going on there the whole time. It would cut out on me and whatever. But I did call a snippet, which I'll send to you guys sometime and ask to see what you guys think.
Yeah,
Sure.
And stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, like you said, people have different opinions and different,
well,
things
see,
about that.
I think that happens a lot. I mean, we all get something that's personal to us. I mean, every time we investigate, very rarely do you go on an investigation and get absolutely nothing, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, not very. Yeah, usually there's something.
yeah, usually
Right.
there's something, and then it's if you throw it out or not, because it's good to get things that go with multiple other pieces of equipment, or but when you get really nothing, like the onesie twosie things, you should share those and see if other people think that is what it is too. Especially like your EVPs, see what they hear, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
And one thing go ahead,
Go
Kat.
ahead. You first.
Okay. One thing that I've noticed, after doing this for some years is the better quality and of your equipment, etc. Like the better the camera, the better the EMF sensor, the more well-made quality stuff seems to get a lot less ghost-like activity. So, you take a picture with your cell phone or some kind of low-end little snap click type camera, and you see all kinds of artifacts and things and stuff and orbs and everything else in there. But then when you put, a couple $1,000 SLR and you set it on a time exposure and you're taking these massive high quality photos where you can literally read a book from across the room by zooming in,
Yeah.
all of a sudden all the evidence goes away. It's like, oh, that's just a really clear picture of the room. And it's a cool building or whatever, but there ain't nothing in it. Same
Right.
thing with voice recorders. It seems to be, you have the old noisy tape recorders, or you have some of the early low bit rate